One remote VA, two softwares, I make $100,000 a month. This is my full course. This is part 6 of 6. This is the last final piece that you guys need to learn how to grow this business. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Eric Cooper. I've sold over $2 million on Amazon and consistently sell $100,000 a month. In this channel, I share what's working for me, what's not, some of the mistakes that I've made along the way, and just to help others actually start and take action on this business, because I feel like a lot of people look into businesses and then just never actually commit. So hopefully I can help some of you just make a commitment into starting. In this video, we're gonna be talking about where to hire, my exact funnel for hiring top talent, how much you should be paying, how to make your VAs effective, how to train and scale, and what you should be actually training your VAs on, and what access they may need to your account. Now, for those of you that don't really know exactly what I do, I essentially just sell products on Amazon. It's exactly like running an online convenience store. I don't have to buy a storefront. I don't have to buy, a bunch of stock like crazy just to start the business. You can start small and work your way up. And all I do is just take everyday brands that are already selling, already spending money on ads, and I sell them on Amazon. Okay, so I don't spend any money on marketing. I don't do any of the fulfillment either, because Amazon actually takes care of the fulfillment for me. And that's exactly what I do to scale this business. So what I'm gonna be talking about today is just how you guys can get virtual assistants to run your business. So about 80 to 90% of my business now is automated by 2 virtual assistants. Okay, these are people from the Philippines that run the finding of products, the buying, everything. They do it all. And so I'm gonna be showing you guys how to find really talented VAs so you guys can do the same thing, or at least help just assist you guys with growing the business. So the best place to go when it comes to hiring is onlinejobs.ph. Okay, this is exactly where you want to go. You're going to need to set up a professional account. It costs $69 a month. What you do is you sign up for that and then you just cancel the plan right away. So it costs you $69 to get a good VA, but it's well worth the cost. And then what you're going to want to do is I'm going to include below this a hiring script. Let me actually quickly pull it up so you guys see. Okay, so this right here is an example of a script that I use. I'll put a Google Doc below this so you guys can go ahead and just copy this script right here. But essentially your biggest thing here is you're going to get a lot of applicants. And so you need a process to sift through every single person that applies. So you'll see we're going to try to aim for about 4 to 5 qualified candidates, and we'll get about 100 applications. You'll get a lot of people that are just spamming applications. They're not really qualified, so you don't want to go for any of those. So the way you can get the most qualified people is you want to ask 3 questions. So these are the 3 questions that I put on my job posting. What is your past experience with Keepa and online arbitrage product sourcing? What is your favorite category for sourcing products? And record a video telling me why you believe you would be a good fit for the job. That's all I put, and this is perfect because what this is gonna do is this is gonna make someone actually show you how good their English is, how knowledgeable they are, and they're gonna talk about a bit of their experience. So you can really get a good feel about how good someone is going to be just through that video. And anyone who doesn't answer these questions is immediately disqualified, because out of those 100 applications, you're not going to want to go through every single one, interview every single person. So this just basically gives you a mini interview without wasting your own time. And if they don't film this video, it just shows that they're not very serious anyways, right? So it's an easy way to, maximize your time. And what we'll do is we'll take those 4 to 5 really qualified people and we'll put them on a paid 1-week trial, okay? This is typically what I do for my students. So for those of you guys that want a VA just trained and you don't want to have to worry about training them, then you guys could obviously look in the description for that and kind of get some help with this. But for those of you guys that want to go ahead and try this, this is the strategy, right? We take those 4 to 5 qualified candidates, we put them on a paid 1-week trial. So we literally pay them just to see how good they are, okay? And out of those 4 to 5 people, you take the absolute best VA, the one that shows, number 1, being the most coachable, they have really good product leads, they're actually consistent. People like that, those are the VAs that you actually bring on, and those are the VAs that you actually onboard in, okay? The other VAs, you can do what you want with them. The real thing is you do want to pay them for this 1 week trial, because trying to get them to do free work, they're not going to do their best work. So you're better off paying them to see how good they actually are. And it works really, really well. Okay. I've never had a VA bad doing this strategy. And then on top of that, typically what we'll do, at least for our students, and what you guys should be doing as well, once you onboard a VA, you're going to want to put them into a WhatsApp group chat. And you're also going to want to give them, like what we do is we give one additional month of training plus product reviewing. So we'll review the products as well as give additional training, just so the VA gets even better. And that's something that I would recommend you guys do. Now, let's talk about how much you should pay. $400 a month is typically what you're going to start most VAs off on. Works really, really well. And you know what I mean? I would give them, so you'll see over here, the funnel we kind of use is after about 1 to 2 months, you want to add an incentive, okay? This is crazy good. What this does is if you just give them a $5 to $10 bonus for each lead they find that you purchase, okay? I want to underline this, because if you try to give them $5 to $10 based on every lead that they find, you're going to be overpaying and they're going to give you a bunch of junk. But if you make it so that every lead that you actually purchased, they're going to be more selective with your products, and the VA is going to be more selective with what they send, and they're going to want to work even harder because of this incentive. You know, it is extremely powerful, but you only want to add in this incentive about 1 to 2 months in. If you add this in too early, it kills the vibe and it doesn't actually really get you the results you want, because they're just getting that bonus right away. They don't really feel like it's a bonus. It's just like that's part of how we're paid. But if you do it as an incentive after they've already been in the company for a month, 2 months, 45 days, that is an amazing way to really boost the morale and just make a VA much better. That is exactly how we kind of make them a lot more effective. Okay, it works really, really well. You do want to do that. And like I said, I mean, $5 per lead they find is really well. I mean, it's really cheap. Like if you buy one product that makes you $100, I mean, you lose $5. Like it's not a big deal. Okay. You should be making more than that anyways. So how do you actually train the VAs? What's the best way to do it? What you have to consider is the VA is going to be in a completely different time zone. I think they're 12 or 13 hours ahead. So when it's your day, it's their night. When it's your night, it's their day. Okay. So it's kind of difficult sometimes to hop on calls. But the best way, I'm a little lazy when it comes to hopping on calls. Okay, I don't really love to do that. So what I started doing was filming a Loom video. Okay, this is what Loom is. It's basically just a video, has your face. You don't have to use your face if you don't want to, but it's a video where you can record you going over product or whatever. Okay, so film a Loom every day going over their products, mistakes they've made, how they can be better, what they did wrong, how the site could be better, where there's better places to find products, just doing everything you can to give them tiny improvements. Now, if you're watching this, you're like, well, Eric, I'm not really a pro yet. I don't really know what to do. You can still give feedback, okay? Trust me, because since it's not your products, you are not going to have that like attachment, the emotional attachment to the product. Whereas if you find your own lead, you're always going to gaslight yourself into saying it's really good, even though there might be some red flags. But when you're looking at a VA's lead, you'd be like, okay, this isn't good. This isn't good. You can easily film a Loom and make your VA even better, okay? Loom is the best way to do it. I would highly recommend doing a face camera, because with a face camera, the reason why it's actually good is because what you get by having a face camera is you can actually show emotion. And showing emotion is extremely crucial, because that is what's going to make your VA like understand, okay, like this is like a little, like it's a little bit more serious. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with doing a voice. It's, you can see that, you can hear the sincerity, you can hear the enthusiasm. It just makes things a lot easier for training. What a lot of people do wrong is they will get a VA, they will have like some spreadsheet or something with the VA, and they'll just type in the notes. And they're like, yep, this isn't good because the seller count is increasing. That is not a good way to train a VA. They're literally just getting text. Like that's it. That's not that good. You will never be able to perceive text that well. No one will. Especially if you're talking to someone where their first language is not English. Like It doesn't make any sense to do that, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. The Loom video is super crucial. I do think video is better, but you don't have to do it. Now, the way you want to scale kind of the training phase is you want to create a database of all the videos, okay? So basically putting these Loom videos into a Google Sheets, into a Google Drive, into a Discord, wherever you want to store those videos, it is extremely crucial because if you were to get another VA, you now have a bunch of training modules that you can immediately give to that next VA and just make things a lot easier. And then like you can do like a list for the product review looms and then also for the training on specific things, right? So I got a question on my last video saying, what do we actually train VAs on? What tasks? So adding products into Seller Central is good. Adding items to a prep center, checking to see if you guys are ungated, and just managing your inventory, making sure you don't need to restock or seeing if you do need to restock. These are all things that you could easily train a VA on. Repricing. The biggest way to know whether or not you should train a VA on it is, does it take away from making money? Is this a task that takes away from making money? So you need to evaluate where you're spending your time. And if you're always spending your time doing stuff like admin tasks, repricing stuff that maybe doesn't really make sense, if you're wasting a lot of your time doing that, that's when bringing a VA and teaching a VA how to do that will help you. Okay? And really it's just simple as filming a loom, putting it in a Google Drive, and now you have that video forever. And you can show another VA how to do that exact same stuff. Now, as far as what they need access to, they really only need access to, in my opinion, adding a product when you first add a VA to your Seller Central. Do not give them your login, okay? You can add them as a user, okay? I'll show you guys how to do that. So on the Seller Central settings, I'm gonna obviously have to blur some of this stuff, but on the Seller Central settings, all you wanna do is hover over the gear wheel and go to user permissions. And then it'll take you to the same screen that I was on. And all you hit is just add user and you invite them. Okay, that is all you have to do. You don't need to do anything else. And then I'll show you kind of the permissions that I use for one of my VAs, just so you have an idea as to what you should be giving them. So let's see here. So manage shipments, manage/add a product, manage your cases, and that's it. That's all I give my VAs to. Access to 3 things, and that'll get them good. Okay, so this is all you guys really need to give them access to. In my opinion, this is exactly how you're going to get a VA ready to go. Okay, so hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you guys like kind of how I do the hiring, how I do this strategy, and maybe you want a VA trained by me, you guys can actually apply below this video. As well is I'm hosting a live training coming up this Sunday. So if you guys want to attend that completely live, it's a free event. You guys can come in and I'll show you guys step by step how I grew my business. You guys can go ahead and register for that event below this, okay? With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.